Good morning, sir. I'm Junafe Montalban from BSIT 1A. So, introduction to programming. Programming is a development for a purpose, and that is to provide a solution to a given problem using the computer. Ang programming daw kay usa ka nagbuo og mga purpose ug naghatag siya og mga solusyon sa mga problema gamit ang computer. A programmer have to design an algorithm taken from the pieces of the basic steps arranged in the order necessary to shape up a solution. Mga programmer kay sila ang magbuhat sa algorithm nga nakuha nila sa ilang gibuhat nga programming. Then ila dayon ang pangitaan or himuan nilang solusyon. Then this method of collecting small pieces of steps is just a part of the program development task. This step, when accurately collected, will certainly provide the required solution to the problem. So kani nga paraan kay mag-ipon siya og ginagmay kaalam nga part. Ginagmay kaalam sa part sa program development task. Kani nga steps nga sakto kini kung naghatag og dali masolusyonan sa mga problema. That the whole program development process does not end from the very moment when the last piece of code is fitted to complete the program. Mo na yung pag-develop sa program task nga process, dili dayon siya mahuman kundi imo pang pangitaon or solusyonan para makompleto imong gihimo nga program. This is because after program is developed, it has yet to pass through the continuous process of refinement. Then napoy moment nga pag human nimo program tapos ma-develop pero abi nimo human na pero check pa na nimo kay napaka i-process ana nga ginagmay nga problema. The refinement process into which the program has to go by from beginning end is known as a programming development cycle. A programming development cycle refers to the steps of defining, coding, compiling, executing, and fine-tuning the program until it is free from all information and the output generated conforms to the expected result. So, ang pag-process man dyan sa gagmay lang nga problema kay gamiton nimo og program sa pinakauna hantod sa pinaka-last. Then diha dayon nimo mabuo ang usa ka programming cycle. Then buhaton dayon nimo ang pag-coding, compiling, executing, fine-tuning hantod makabuo ka og output. So another reason why it is referred to as cycle is because it starts over from where it ends. The following are the steps embracing the cycle, which will guide programmers in development a program. Defining, analyzing the problem, planning and designing the solution, coding the solution, testing and debugging the solution, implementation, maintenance, and documentation. Defining and analyzing the problem. The most important thing to consider before solving a problem is to identify and define the exact problem to be solved. A programmer charged with providing solution to a problem must have a complete understanding about the needs and wants of the user. Ang pinaka-importante discern nimo i-solve ang problema is pangitaon nimo o i-define ang problema na ang isolbon. Kay ang programmer kabalo mo provide og solution sa mga problema o kabalo mo sabot sa mga kinahanglanon sa gusto sa user. Problem analysis. In problem analysis, the problem itself is broken into a few larger parts, and each part into smaller segments and further into the smallest segment if necessary, until it makes you feel comfortable solving them piece by piece. Sa problem analysis, naay mga problema nga lisod, naay problema nga sayon. So hinay-hinayan to nimo og sabot hangtod sa mahinay-hinayan pud nimo og solve ang isa-isa ang problema. Planning the solution. One of the best techniques in writing a good program is by planning. Planning is a method of preparing the action steps in a logical manner to achieve a specific task. As we effectively plan our action, it can considerably reduce time and effort in writing program than we would without planning. Naay technique kung gusto ka og maayo nga program. So dapat naa kay mga plano, need ang plano sa tanan labi na og program. Dali nimo ma-achieve ang mga specific task. Intellectual disparity. One important thing to note is the fact that computers do not possess the inherent intellect in the same way human would demonstrate in the conduct of his task. Computers are dependent on program which contains a series of steps taken from the natural sequence of human action and then perform them with such a remarkable speed and precision. Usa ka importante nga butang na dapat dili kalimtan o kani nga tinuod nga ang computer dili siya mogana og walay mogamit niya. Parehas ra gyapon na sa ato nga dili molihok og dili suguon. Ang computer kay nisalig lang na sila sa ato sa mga gipangbuhat nato. Makabuhat dayon sa school, works o mao nang nakalamang kay tanang technology na ang gamit. Using pseudocode. Pseudocode is non-standard English-like statement containing sentences and phrases that look closely similar to the syntax of programming language. So ang pseudocode kay usa ka naghatag og containing sentence nga mura siya og syntax sa programming language. The use of flowchart. A flowchart is a visual diagram showing the process of works through a sequence of operation. It is a tool well acknowledged by many as an important technique reflective in an instant of the true picture of the entire program. So, ang flowchart pod is a visual diagram nga nagpakita og sunod-sunod na progress sa imong gibuhat. Coding the solution. Crucial to program development process is coding. It is the stage where the defined procedure as described in the pseudocode or as a visual symbolized by a flowchart is transformed into a machine code through a programming language. Mga importanteng process sa program nga mabuo nimo is gitawag og coding. Kini ang gitawag or idea nga dapat ilarawan nimo sa pseudocode o ipasabot nimo siya sa flowchart. Then mabag-o na siya sa machine code pinaagi sa programming language. Programming language. As we know, one of the things that bring programmer and computer together is a programming language through which the exchange of information is facilitated and the gap between their spoken languages is limited. Sa nahibala nato, usa ka butang nga nagdala sa programming o computer kay ang programming language pinagi sa pagbaylo og mga info then limit pod ang agwat sa spoken language. Testing and debugging the solution. Testing and debugging is the method of validating the program to ensure that it will correctly work on the required task. So pagsulay or pag-fix sa mga bugs, isa ka paraan para mo validate sa program para ma-sure nga sakto inyong ipangbuhat nga task. Then the compilation process. After coding but prior to the run, the translated statements, meaning the statements it hold derived from the steps as contained in the flowchart or pseudocode, had to be compiled for a purpose of generated executable code. Mani mo og coding, then need nimo siya i-run. And ang pasabot nag-process siya pinaagi sa pseudocode o flowchart. The debugging process, as mentioned earlier, the reason why a program must be compiled was because the object code or the executable code had to be created. Paghuman, then kani siya is paghuman masuri ang program o nabuo nga output gamit ang live date. Naghatag og required output condition na actual sa pag-start sa program. Then dito na mo test run. Prior to actual use program, a test run is a perform of purposes of correcting and removing output errors left during the compilation process. Then implementation. After the program was tested and the output generated using the copy of the live date conforms to the required output condition, the actual use of the program begins. So diri nimo ni masuri ang mga nabuong output. Naghatag po siya og mga required output condition to actual the pag-start sa program. Maintenance and documentation. It is inevitable that during the program use, some changes might just need to be affected, as when there are changes on company rules or na government policies. Worth saying is the fact that the documentation process does not only mean providing a list of the whole lines of program, but also providing backups and storing date files on safe place where they can readily referred to as the need of arises. Dili siya malikayan panahon ng paggamit sa program. So karon ang uban maapektuhan sa patakaran is mabag-o, like sa kumpanya or dapat makabalo gyud ana. And that's